Hello, our topic today is team and everything around teams. We are here in our large training room and you see that we have prepared some games here on the floor, and you might recognize something that you have already played in a seminar or in a training, like for example here the spider net or such a set of cards or ropes that we can also apply in team building exercises. So if we think further about teams and the constellation of teams, what we observe very often is when people are put together in a team, the focus is unfortunately too much on which competences do these people bring into the team. So which strengths do they have? So what is too much neglected from our point of view is to look on other personal attributes, like for example, which preferences do people have in thinking styles, or how do they work, or which values do they bring into that team. We all know the American pattern that is higher attitude and trained skills. So, which means that if you have once a person in your team, in your company, that brings the right attitude, principles and values into that team, then it is much easier to train skills. Of course, there has to be a certain potential to do that, to be successful. But if we think about this process vice versa, so in terms of hiring something and we exclusively look on which competences and strengths does that person bring into the team, and then afterwards you realize, well, the values are not the ones which are fitting, then it becomes much more challenging and hard to come to a successful, let's say, result. So thinking about the constellation of a team nowadays is very much in the context of this, let's say, strong expression diversity. And what I mean now is not diversity in terms of gender or age or nationality. So what I mean is diversity in terms of looking at having people with different attributes of their personality in a team. This might make sense, but nevertheless, very often teams are being put together, let's say, in terms of diversity just for the sake of diversity. And that is something that sometimes does not make much sense. So for example, if, let's say, the tasks and the target of a team is very one-dimensional, it might make much more sense that we have people with very similar competences and very similar personal attributes. In the moment that these tasks and targets are, let's say, broader and wider, so we have targets and tasks which go in different directions, then of course it makes sense to apply the idea of diversity in terms of having people with different personal attributes. So please, when you put people together in a team, do not only look on their strengths and competences, because that field is much wider. Look at preferences, look at values, and then success is very much easier. Thank you.